Okay, for this particular recipe, I'm going to use Japanese short grain rice, or the kind of rice that my mother uses. She's Japanese. Yeah, let's see if I can put this off here. Yeah, I actually brought this from my previous state, and I haven't cooked it yet, but because I usually make brown rice, but for Japanese style Indian curry, which is what I'm making, you actually want to use this rice. It really makes a difference in the way it tastes. Okay, so let's go ahead and measure. What I usually do is I cook with, because I'm with one person, but I usually use 2 cups of rice. So let's go ahead and measure this out. Japanese always rinse their rice. Let's put it in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put in about 2 cups here. Okay. Okay, so that's 1 cup. Let's do another cup. This is a short grain rice. If you can, they have this kind of rice at my grocery store, but if your grocery store that doesn't carry it, the Asian stores always have this kind of rice. Okay. Okay, the next thing you do, oops, God, I don't need to be making a mess. It looks like, all right. The next thing you do is you got to rinse the rice. See if I can get a little bit closer here. Yeah, there you go. And usually about 3 times. So you kind of swish it around like this. Then you let it drain like that. One more time. You do it till the water runs clear. That's your first time. Usually about 3 times. Here's the second round. My mother says she does this like if any mice were walking on the ice and they peed on it or something, that'll help too. I don't know if that... Anyway, here's the third round. Usually about 3 or 4 times. You don't want to overdo it because then your rice gets soggy, but... Here's the third. Okay, let's go one more time. Kind of gently swish the rice around. Try it one more time. I like to see the water coming out pretty clear. Yeah, that's pretty good there. Alright, that's good enough. Okay, now we're gonna let it sit. This is summer. We're gonna let it sit for about a half an hour, and then I'll start cooking it. Let me turn this off. So we're just gonna let it sit for about a half an hour. And then we'll start cooking it. Okay. Yeah, for curry rice, you got to have this kind of rice. It really makes a difference. Okay, because I'm using a pressure cooker, I don't really need to follow this recipe exactly. I've made rice many, many times. Yeah, because this is going to retain a lot of water, so I don't need to let the rice soak. I've only let it soak for about 10 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and put the rice in the pressure cooker. Now, if I was using like a Dutch oven or a regular pot and covering it with dishes or something to try to keep the water, and then I would let the rice sit for half an hour. Like, yeah, I'll have a link underneath this video for how to make this rice. I make this rice all the time. I usually use brown rice. Okay, so that's 2 cups of washed rice. So I've got it right there in the bottom. Let's go ahead and add 2½ cups of water. So for every 1 cup, you want 1 1/4 cups of water. So let's go ahead and add in 2½ cups of water. Yep, 2½ cups of water. 1, 2. My problem is I get busy and sometimes I forget to babysit the rice. You got to really babysit it. Okay, and a half. Okay, now what we're going to do now is we're going to put it on kind of like low heat. I'm going to put it on about number 3, and when it starts to boil, then we so the first step, actually medium heat until the water boils. Let's go up to about 4½ here. Medium heat until the water boils. Do not bring it to the boiling point quickly. If the quantity of rice is large, cook rice over high heat from the beginning. The heat can be carried into the center of rice if cooked over medium heat. So medium heat till the water boils. All right, we need to cover it now. Let's go ahead and cover it. Let's go ahead and put this on here. Okay, the next step, high heat for 1 minute after boiling. So I just put it on high. I just put it over here on high. Right down there. Okay, I put it on high. Now we're going to wait till it starts boiling. Once it starts boiling, then I have to pay attention. So high heat for 1 minute. When it begins to boil, turn the heat to high and cook for 1 minute. Never lift lid while cooking, especially with a pressure cooker. So okay, so I'd say about 1 minute. These pressure cooker, I actually did used to have a Japanese rice cooker, but I didn't like cooking with aluminum, and I had been using a stainless steel pressure cooker simply because I don't want to cook with aluminum cookware. I just don't cook with aluminum. I cook with stainless steel, glass, and cast iron. Okay, it's been about 1 minute. So let's go ahead and now we're going to turn the heat to low for, let's go ahead and take it out of here. Turn the heat to low. Okay, that's pretty good there. For 4 to 5 minutes. Be careful not to overboil, then the pot begins to steam. Okay, so about 4 to 5 minutes. And so what I'm going to do is 4 to 5 minutes on low. So let's actually put it up about number 3. That's low. Okay, 4 to 5 minutes. And then after that, the lowest heat for 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and leave it here for about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, let's go ahead and lower it to, it's been here about 4 to 5 minutes. We're going to put it on the lowest heat for 10 minutes. So it's down on the lowest heat here. Okay, it's going to be here for about 10 minutes. And of course you never want to lift the lid. I've made this rice many times and this really works. Let me just tell you what I'm going to do next because I'm going to start working on the curry. After 10 minutes I'm going to turn the heat off and just let the rice sit. Okay, and then it just kind of steams and all the rice fluffs up and it turns out perfect. Like I said, I've made this many times. This really works. This is the best recipe for cooking rice. It'll be at my website. Okay, I'm assembling the ingredients. What I did was I took the skins off of these chicken thighs, and then I cut them sort of into bite-sized pieces. And now I'm going to sprinkle with salt and pepper. It's kind of like a bit of a marinade. I don't like too much salt, so I'm going to go easy on this. Salt and pepper, that's kind of like... Oh my goodness. Let me go rinse my hands off. But basically, I'm going to be sprinkling salt and pepper over this. So, but I'm going to clean my hands off. Okay, I am assembling and preparing my ingredients. I already had some frozen onions, and this looks like about the equivalent of 2 onions here. For chicken bouillon cube, I'm going to use 3/4 teaspoon of this. That should work. For the julienne, 1 tablespoon julienne strips of fresh ginger. I chopped that up just right now. That's about a tablespoon. And then I just minced some garlic. So they said to use 2 tablespoons chopped garlic. That's about 2 tablespoons. So I'm getting everything ready ahead of time. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, here is the recipe. I'm going to be assembling the B ingredients and the C ingredients. Okay, the B ingredients I'm going to put in 1 container because while I'm cooking, I'm going to be throwing them all in there. So that's going to be cumin seeds, black pepper, clove, and cardamom. Let's work on that. Okay. Yeah, because I'm going to be throwing this in during cooking, so let's get this ready ahead of time. And I'm going to put it all in here. These are the ingredients B. Let's go to the least messy one. Oh, they're all kind of messy. Okay, I need 1. I just bought this today because I didn't really have cumin seeds. I have cumin, okay, that'll work. So I need 1 teaspoon. That's about 1 teaspoon. Okay. Half teaspoon black pepper. Let me get a paper towel and just kind of wipe this spoon off so that I don't transfer one spice to another. And yet I don't have to use 50 different spoons, you know. So let's go ahead and do this. Yeah, okay. So now let's do a half teaspoon. Okay, I've got the cumin seed. Half teaspoon of clove. Let's see. That's the only bad thing about using these. Jesus told me to use these things, and they're great for a small apartment, but they're not as easy to work with as the spices that... That's okay, I'm not going to complain. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's about... Throwing a little bit more. There, that's good. Okay, and then I need half teaspoon of cardamom. This is cardamom. I bought this today too. Hopefully this will flow better. That's about a half teaspoon cardamom. And half teaspoon black pepper. Actually, I still have it in the container that right there, so I'm going to use that. You say, you're using the 1 teaspoon thing. Yeah, I'm kind of guesstimating, you know. All right, half teaspoon of black pepper. That's good. All right, so here's ingredients B, and I'll go ahead and throw these in when the recipe calls for it. And we're going to go ahead now and assemble ingredients C, okay? And that way I'll have everything ready for cooking. Oops. So yeah, ingredients B right there. I need more light here. Oh, I need to plug it in, don't I? Oh my goodness, okay. That would help. There we go. This is ingredients. There you go. Ingredients B. There's my cilantro, and I'm going to go ahead and cut some of those off of here. This is cilantro, and use that as sprinkling when it's all done. That's perfect for curry. That's one of the reasons I'm making these Indian dishes, because Indians use a lot of curry. I'm going to have a Mexican dish I'll be doing some other time. Let's go ahead and assemble ingredients C now. Now we're going to assemble ingredients C. 5 bay leaves. Let's take them out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Put over here. A half teaspoon cumin powder. So we'll work on that. Since I'm taking it out of here, let's do like I did there before. A half teaspoon cumin powder. That's about right. Half teaspoon coriander powder. That's about right. And well, let's do the white pepper, because the chili white pepper. Here's white pepper. I had to buy this today. They only had this kind. Let's go ahead and clean this off. Okay, a half teaspoon of white pepper. That's about right. There. Gotta have your spices when you're a gourmet cook like I am. Okay. And 1 teaspoon of chili powder. I love my chili powder. Come on. This is being stubborn. These things are great for when you live in a small place, but when it comes to measuring spices, it can be a pain. That's about right. Might throw in a little bit more. There, that's good. All right, this is ingredients C. Bay leaves, cumin powder, coriander powder, chili powder. Okay, I'll know that it's C because it'll have the bay leaves in it. Okay, cumin powder, coriander powder. Yep. Okay. And I already chopped the tomato. So let's see, it looks like we're all ready. So let's go ahead and start cooking. My whole purpose for doing this is to use up my cilantro. So let's see. I usually have to trim all the time anyways, because the cilantro is always, the leaves are turning yellow. And this one here, it's got some, this one here looks like it could use a good trim. What I want to do though is hit the ones right up here that are getting really tall, like this one right here. So, because it's going right up into the light. Let me see. Yeah, so we're going to cut this one. There. Yeah, let's have a little bit more. Let me see what else is going tall here. I want that to grow though. This right here looks like it could use a good cut. All right, so we got that one. This one here. All right. Would that be enough cilantro? Doesn't that look nice? So, well, anyways. Maybe, let's check. I don't want to cut that one. It's growing some little baby's leaves. What about over here? I think that's all I'm going to do for right now. That's pretty cilantro, eh? Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and wash that and chop it up and then throw it on top of this curry when it's done. Alright. Yeah, my whole purpose for for making these recipes is to use up my cilantro. I want to save some cilantro because I'm going to be using it for other recipes. One Mexican, but yeah, this would be great on top of the curry. This is the perfect topping for curry, by the way. Okay, yeah, that looks good. So I'll throw that on top of it when it's when I'm done cooking it. It'll give it a nice pungent flavor. I love the flavor of cilantro. I'm growing some right here because my Patreon supporter Chad got me some UV lights, and I'm able to grow them right here in my apartment. So let me see if I can get a good close-up view on that one. Nice looking, they smell good too. Nice looking cilantro there. Okay, here's what I already chopped up the tomatoes coarsely. There's the chicken, my ginger, my onions, my garlic, and the ingredients. And I have the yogurt in the refrigerator, and I'm going to pull that out when it's time for me to throw that in there. My Dutch oven, let's go ahead and turn the heat on. We're going to put in, I'm going to go ahead and use canola oil. I could use olive oil, but I think canola oil would work really good with this. So let's put in about 2 tablespoons, it says, of oil. So I'm going to go ahead and use canola. This is a stainless steel Dutch oven, by the way. I took the fat off the chicken thighs because I'm a little bit calorie conscious. I don't want to get too fat, but my cooking's too good, you know. Okay, so let's go ahead and warm that up. The rice turned out really good, by the way. Yeah, let me show you. Here's the rice. Let's see if I can I'll just bring the pan over here. Yeah. Look at that. Nice. It came out really nice. I can tell it came out good. Yeah. I'll show you even more when I put the chicken over the rice when I'm done. Let me just cover this for right now. Yeah, pressure cooker does a really good job. So I'm heating up the oil. And let's go ahead and see what... Okay. Add in... When do we add... Okay. Let's go ahead and add ingredients. A chopped garlic. That's chopped garlic. And lower, yeah, that's good. Chopped garlic and the julienne strips of fresh ginger. Okay, here we go. Saute for 1 minute over high heat. This is high enough for me. So, let's see if I can get it through here. One minute over high heat. Yeah, I've really got to start using that cilantro. It's growing like a weed. It's a high maintenance plant, you know. It doesn't do well in heat, but apparently I'm doing good enough that it's doing good, you know. Okay. Okay, that's about a minute. Okay, next thing you do now, then ingredient B. That would be this one right here. All right, ingredients B. Another minute. You can see what I'm doing there. Yep. All right. I'll have this recipe underneath the video at my website. All right. That's about a minute. Okay. Add chopped onion and saute until the color turns amber. Yeah. That's pretty high heat, I can tell. Okay, so we're going to saute until the color turns amber. Yeah, it's going to turn amber because of all the spices in here. And maybe from heating it up too. I brought up the heat because this onion's partially frozen, so. What it looks like right now. Yeah. Yeah, this is a Dutch oven, by the way. Until the color turns amber, and it's up on high heat now. Because it was partially frozen when I stuck it in here. You say, that doesn't look like 2 onions. That's good enough. They probably shrank a little when they came in here. I've been trying to go a little easy on the onions and garlic anyway. So, but there's enough onions in here to make it taste good, I can tell. So that's good enough for me. I put a little extra garlic too, so it's going to be... Definitely need to be on the highest heat because it came in. The onions were... I cut these like weeks ago and I froze them so the onions would be good. You know. Onions freeze well. All right. It smells interesting. This is out of my Japanese cookbook that I bought in Seattle. Actually, I bought it originally in Seattle when it was a paperback. This was in the early 1990s. And then when I moved to Florida, I ended up, I found it somewhere. I can't remember. Maybe I ordered it from Amazon and I got it back because I love the cookbook. Because there are a lot of good recipes in there. Until the onion turns golden. Well, the problem is these came in frozen, so, I mean, I threw them in here frozen, so I'm going to have to wait till, I think I'll just wait till the onions are kind of soft. Yeah. Of course, maybe I shouldn't swish them around so much. They'll get more golden if I kind of leave them alone. Yeah. Yeah, they're getting golden now. Yeah, the heat needs to be higher. Well, the onions went in there kind of frozen, you know. Let's cut out a bit of food. I don't want to have a major wash and done with this pan either, so it's another reason I'm swishing it around. It's getting golden. Okay, that's good enough for me. I'm going to the next step. Okay, add the chicken and reduce heat to medium-low. There we go. There we go. I put it down to 3. Yeah, it was starting to burn, so I didn't want to wait. All right. Reduce heat to medium-low. I thought I could add a little water in there. That's okay. All right. Okay, reduce heat to medium-low. Cover with the lid and cook until chicken is half done. Now it doesn't tell me to do this, but it's burning a little bit, so I'm going to throw in a little water. I just called common sense cooking here. That won't hurt. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, let me just swish this chicken around here. All right. That looks interesting. Let me get something to... All right. So now we're going to cook it for an hour. So I got to cover it with a lid. Here's a lid right here. Okay. Then we're going to cook it for an hour. Actually, the recipe doesn't say an hour. It says cook till chicken's half done. So that could be about 10 or 15 minutes, my guess. So I'll keep an eye on it. While that's cooking, I'm going to get 16 ounces of yogurt ready because you drip it in while it's simmering. I happen to use expensive organic probiotic, but hey, you know, this is what I have on hand, so I'm going to use it. Let's get 16 ounces. Okay, there's 8 ounces right there, because 8 ounces in a cup. Okay, let's go ahead and throw in okay, I need to get another. Yeah, apparently the authentic curry uses a lot of, they use actually cream, but I actually prefer to use, this is actually full-fat yogurt, so. The recipe in the Japanese cookbook calls for a yogurt. I happen to love milk dairy products, so I bet I'm going to love this. All right, that's good. So I'm going to be throwing that in when the recipe calls for it. Right there. This chicken is half cooked, at least. Time to go forward. All right. All right, so what I'm going to do now, add ingredient C. Okay, that's this right here. Add ingredient C. Let's make sure I'm getting all of that out of here. Ingredient C. All right, that's good. All right. And chopped tomato. Yep. Yeah, you definitely need to prepare your ingredients ahead of time for this. Okay. That's a chopped fresh tomato. Alrighty. Let's see here. Stir and continue to cook. Okay. Actually, let's move to my slotted spoon here. Stir and continue to cook. Yeah, it's still cooking. This looks interesting. All right, stir and continue to cook. That's what it looks like right now. While adding 1½ cups water and a bouillon cube. 1½ cups water and a bouillon cube. Okay. I've been washing dishes as I'm cooking too. That way I can save time for later. 1½ cups water. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. For a bouillon cube, I'm just going to throw in about, I'm going to use about 3/4 of a teaspoon of this. Boy, I have to open this thing. Oh, my goodness. This jar is a little bit tough. Let me get me a rubber glove here. Ah, we got it. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. All right. All right, about 3/4 of a teaspoon here. That'll work. That's my bouillon cube. Oh no, some of it got on this pan. Okay, let's go ahead and put this in the refrigerator. I'm pretty sure it needs to be refrigerated once you open it. Oh, goodness. Get me a paper towel. You know, I can wipe it with this. This will work. You may say, why didn't you use bouillon cubes? Because this looks better. I'm a gourmet cook, you know. So, yeah. This looks better. Said no artificial flavors and stuff. This looks good. But it works like a bouillon cube. So, you say, what is that? It's Maggie's Premium Chicken Base. That's what it is. Alright. Refrigerate after opening. Yeah, that's what I figured. Let's go ahead and stick it in the refrigerator. Just wipe that down. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Cook 1 hour over low heat. Let's go ahead and mix everything around first so that the bouillon cube, or what I put in there, kind of spreads around. So let's go ahead and mix it all around. There's a real fast way to make curry where you can buy like Vermont instant curry mix, but I prefer this method because I'm trying, because I like using, I just love cooking from scratch. That's just the way I am. I like to get down to the base ingredients. Okay, it's kind of mixed around there. And let me just go ahead and put it over here. And, okay, so I'm going to be adding yogurt. Let's see, it says add yogurt during the simmering process, stirring constantly. Actually, it doesn't say to cover it. Stirring. Yeah, let's take the cover off. I can see why, because you want the sauce to get thick. Okay, so let's just go ahead and throw in a little bit of yogurt. I guess that's going to ruin the probiotics, but that's okay. Going to be good. So for 1 hour, I'm going to be throwing that in there and twirling it around, and this needs to go over here. Yeah. So for a whole hour, I think it's going to get thickened. Yeah, and it'll start looking like curry. So, yeah, it's a pretty good temperature. So I'm going to have to babysit this. So I'll be throwing in that whole thing of yogurt in here over the next hour or so. So here's what it looks like right now. And for the next hour, I'll be putting all that yogurt in there. And stirring constantly, and then after I do that, it'll be done, and I'll just throw the cilantro on top of it, on top of the rice. I took a bit of a taste of it. It's really good. This is really good. Yeah, that's starting to look like curry. Okay, this is a little bit too liquidy for my liking, so I'm going to get some wheat flour and mix it, and kind of mix it with some water and throw it in here to thicken this up. So I'm going to be modifying the recipe and kind of doing it my own way, which is nothing new for me. And then I think I'll be happy with it. Yeah, I like that. I put in about, I'd say about 4 to 5 tablespoons of wheat flour. Mix it in here, because I like it to be a little thicker than this when I pour it over the rice. This is the way I'm used to eating, so I kind of modified the recipe, but I like this. Yep. This is the way I'm used to eating curry. So let's just cook it a little bit more while I go ahead and publish this recipe as I've modified it to my website. Okay, let's try it. This is what it looks like with some fresh cilantro up on top. This is the first time I've made curry from scratch. Before I used like one of those golden curry mixes. This is good. It's delicious. And the cilantro on top really gives it a nice flavor. I like it. It's a great way to use cilantro. And the rice is good too. So, yeah, this is delicious. I will be posting this recipe probably tomorrow. It's real good. It's a winner. You do need to add a little wheat flour with water to thicken it, but it's really good. I will be posting this.